Stream was live, huh?
Tom Cruise and I love Molly Sleuth.
I am the eyes and ears of this institution.
Mama don't like tattletales.
Who knows? In 1,000 years, even you may be worth something.
Little hand says it's time to rock and roll.
Room for one more, honey.
Today we face the monsters that are at our door.
I think we live in overstimulated times.
Bah humbug! Hi, everybody. Let us look. I'm glad it was you that was having technical difficulties because usually it's my dumbass that can't figure something out, and so I'm glad the robots are already winning.
We can blame it on Instagram because every time I try and come in through Instagram, it does this to me.
Oh, okay. Well, screw Instagram. I won't ever send you the link there ever again. Okay, well, hello. We already have people in the chat, and we have new people too, which is exciting. Welcome in the door. And if you want to subscribe to us, then you can see the other shenanigans that we get up to. I am Scrooge, Molly Sleuth. I was up for a long time, so I'm going to be talking about AI from a little bit of the dumpster fire perspective, dating, sex, and law enforcement. And then Rod is our resident artist, and he's going to be talking about it from the creative standpoint and how it's going to kill the soul of the world. Avoid the gram, Red Bike says. Yes. And then we have Chris, our resident foil hat, and he's going to talk about it from a little bit of a darker side, which I'm interested in. And I don't know, the ghosts are taking over now because it's trying to go and I get fuzzy. It's like the autofocus is like there must be like a ghost between me and the screen, even though I don't believe in ghosts. Was Scrooge a ghost? I don't really know anything about Scrooge. I just had this outfit and I decided to...
No, Scrooge wasn't a ghost. He was just a grumpy old man.
Oh, he was just like a rich asshole or...
Yeah.
Good. Excellent. I need to be a rich asshole. Right now I'm just an asshole. I need to be a rich asshole. But it's funny. I'm going to do a ghost show coming up with Patricia Keystone channel, and because she loves that shit. And everybody tells me to get rid of all my old stuff. Like, this hat is fuck old. Somebody probably like wore this hat to their funeral. Scrooge was visited by 3 ghosts. I have at least 3 ghosts. Red Bike, at least. We'll get into that.
There's more than one now?
I don't know. I don't know anything about anything. Just that doors are locking and unlocking.
Oh, that's right.
Like, if I wasn't with my mental faculties, then I would just be like, oh, I must have just been forgetful. No, I know I didn't lock myself out. Anyway, pissed off. Hey, Pammy Rutledge. Thank you. Yes, I'm wearing my Scrooge vest. So, okay, let's dive into AI. Speaking of how much we hate computers, I kind of wanted to just start from like a cheesy standpoint of like what it does to us as we interact with one another. This is something that I think about sometimes. Like I was making this thumbnail and I'm sending it to our producer and I'm sending it, like, oh, do you like this color? Do you whatever? And it's like, if I wasn't doing that in real time, would he know that I was a real person? Like, am I the only one that has these weird thoughts like this? Do you wonder, like, if people you talk to, because Rod, you and I met on the internet and we were friends for a couple years before I even heard your voice.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Because we never.
And then when I heard your voice, I was like, that's not real. He's not real.
That's not the guy I was talking to.
Right. What is going on with this like Harlequin romance novel voice? He sashayed in the room and grabbed her by the hair. Like, this is what I think about when I hear your voice. Sorry to make you blush, but like your voice isn't real.
Yeah, it is. I'm a real boy.
Listen, one of the last dates I was on, the guy had the weirdest voice, and he was telling the story about his lawnmower for whatever reason. And I just can't get that sound out of my head. And I didn't even think the lawnmower would start because the gas was so old. And I was like, I must be on television right now. There's no way there's no voice. AI reminds you of Depeche Mode. Lie to me. Yes. Well, so this is what we're going to talk about because there's a lot of lying to us that can happen. I do have a little AI quiz coming up. But okay, maybe here's where I start. So I was making the thumbnail for this show, and I don't know how I make us tiny, but I asked Grok. Usually I like to make thumbnails like from scratch, but now like AI will just give me the background and I'll pop ghost going on the fucking screen again. And then I'll pop our heads on it, and that seems to be kind of fun. So I was like, okay, I decided that we were all going to be robots, and there was a whole conversation that happened about which robots we were going to be. I decided that I was going to be like an old school blow up doll. Oh, let me find one of those. So I've been using Grok. It's been pretty fun, but I have to say, let's see. I think I put that in my crap folder. Don't even have enough eyesight to be able to find. Hi, Super Biatch. Okay, my shit folder, not the crap folder, the shit folder. Okay, so I was asking for all of these pictures, and it was a fun thing. There was a whole arc of chaos that went on. First, I asked Grok, hey, let me have C-3PO, T-1000, and a blow-up doll. And this is what Grok came up with. He decided blow-up doll. And I'm like, how did you even decide that the blow-up doll was going to be male? Like, what the hell? And like, what's with the face and the hairdo? Like, that is not... Me, as a straight girl, this is not the face of the man that I want on my blow-up doll. Just was not happy about that. And then, so there's many iterations where I was trying to like make it better. And then, so I get to, let's see, remove that one. So I get to essentially like this phase. And so I say, draw a horizontal image of C-3PO, a female blow-up doll, and T-1000 talking in cyberspace. This is where Grok's drugs are way better than human drugs. Dude, you're not kidding. So so if you've never done Grok, you ask Grok for something very specific, and then it will give it to you. It also sort of, will make wild ideas. I also think that it's basically the last form of rude comedy because you can ask it things. And even Instagram was doing that, and I was like, okay, show me a Russian. And it was like this like Russian guy, and like young and muscular and all this stuff. And then I said, okay, show me a German guy. And it was like a young, fit, like German guy in the middle of this like brutalist sort of city. And I was like, show me a Mexican guy. And it was just some like drunk baracho, like drinking in an alley with a sombrero, like laying down in an alley. And I'm like, this is exactly why we need AI. AI is like a frog in hot water. I kind of like that, actually. I wish X wouldn't have kicked me off for going after Utah's governor. I miss Grok. Yeah, Grok is pretty fun. Okay, so all right. So I get to this stage. So you ask Grok for shit, and it gives you two options. But now, in this case, the one on the left where it has the X, it's basically telling you it's too pornographic to even show you. Grok, you made it up. Like you could just make up a non-X-rated one to show me. You didn't have to make it gross. And like I'll do stuff for let me see. Let me show you another one. I was doing a show about crime statistics, and I wanted a picture of a cop holding up like graphs and like statistics or whatever. So then it gave me this, and I was like, okay, that's cool. The only change, so then you can give it a little change. The only change I asked for was make the officer female, because of course you say a cop and most people think of a guy, and I don't take it personally, even though I was a cop for a million years. And so I said, just make the cop female, and I get this. It's like
it was probably pulling images from like a Halloween shop with a sexy cop outfit.
Right, but so this is the problem with AI, because basically it's saying that it goes to these stereotypes. It's going to the internet for its cache of what it thinks a female cop looks like. Yep. And unfortunately, I guess more cops look like this on the internet than in real life. And so it was just so funny to me that AI really is only as good as like the worst stereotype on the internet, and that it's going to be funny. But it can be used like super dark. So now you can take faces like, I mean, the thumbnails that I make for our shows are obviously like the worst Photoshop of all time. I really only spend a few minutes on it. I love my antiquated, shitty technology. It makes me happy. I don't know what's going to, like, even I have an old website that's like super old school. In fact, I called GoDaddy to re-up it. And he was like, this is the best website I've ever seen. Nobody makes websites like this anymore. I'm like, yeah, well, I took a 3-night class at Los Angeles Community College, and that's what I got. But you can also use it to do like revenge porn and stuff, which is crazy. And,
what is the name of the Google's AI that they had, their image generator? I know it had a specific name. I can't remember what it was.
I haven't used it, but I bet you Circle of One in the chat will be able to tell us.
I know that when it first got released, they were having problems with that particular AI generating images that weren't necessarily. Gemini, yes, the Gemini thing. When they first launched that, it would not produce certain pictures if you prompted it to say show you a white family. It would say this is insensitive, we can't show that. But if you asked it any other race, it would give that image to you. And then it was for some weird reason, it was presenting George Washington and other historical figures as the wrong ethnicity and that kind of thing, because it had injected DEI into historical events. It was replacing people in the past with, the wrong ethnicity. For example, you wanted to look up Germans in the 30s. It did not show a single Caucasian, what you might think of as a German person. There were Asians and blacks, and wow, this is really strange. But it was because the AI was having the conflict with the parameters that were put into it to enforce this DEI narrative and idea. And so when you would ask it about historical, it was Gemini. That definitely was really bad when it first came out. Hopefully they fixed it, but you mentioned some kind of bias maybe that Grok has, but they all seem to. It depends. Like Elon Musk said, and he probably wasn't the first person to ever say it, but garbage in, garbage out as far as it goes with the AI. So depends on who's.
It's only as good as its programming.
Yeah.
And
I
so
always
if you're
think
pushing everybody,
AI will never be smarter than the person that made it. I don't think. That's its
that
limitation.
doesn't mean it's not going to try to kill you, though.
Well, if they have malintent, that's going to be in the AI. It's going to be in their AI models or image generators or whatever you want to do. You know, eventually, history itself will be up for question. You know, it will all be murky.
Yeah. Well, so you remember like the jib jab? Did you hear that, Rod?
Yes. Yeah.
What?
Jib jab.
What about it?
Well, that's kind of like where some of that started. It started with, oh, this is a funny way to take your face and put it on a skier, and then I'm skiing next to you, and like you just create these vignettes, and all they need is just a picture of your face. And it kind of looks like the thumbnails that I make, just like shitty, horrible Photoshop where it's your head, but clearly not. And you just take a picture of the person, and then you could make them decorate a Christmas tree or surf or be an astronaut or whatever. And then I send you a birthday card of you, blowing out your candles or whatever. And you can make different vignettes with it. And they were all kind of like you pick which one you want, like a filter or something. Okay. But I upload a picture of you to it. And then that's what Jib Jab used to make this, art, whatever it is. Yeah. And so now that it's gotten so much better, and by better, I mean more realistic looking, people can use it to make revenge porn of their exes, and which is terrifying because it's getting better and better. And then somebody, like my mom, who was like, oh my God, look, they trained a whale to fly. Like, Mom, it's like totally AI. That's not real. But it's getting so good to the point where we now have to like question everything. And that to me is freaking terrifying. I'll show you one video. Let's see here. This is an AI video, totally fake, fraudulent. These people don't exist. AI video that is basically just being used to stir up shit and create more division and chaos among the politics of today.
Hey, I'm NYPD, you hear me? Badge right here. What you doing is illegal. Sir, no, you back up. I got authority on this block, just like you think you do. You can't snatch people off the street without a warrant.
We're conducting.
And I'm telling you right now, federal or not, it's against the law. I'm an officer of the law too, hermano. You put hands on anyone.
This is really scary because it looks so real. And so there are things called artifacts. I don't know if you guys follow this stuff, but basically if you zoom in on the NYPD officer's patch, it looks a little bit fucked up, hieroglyphics, whatever. And so they call it an artifact, like, oh, okay, well, that part, the computer didn't get exactly right because it's not an NYPD patch. Just like if you look at this picture, although that would look like an LAPD officer under the Hollywood sign, if you know Hollywood, you know that there's no east-west street that you could park your car under the Hollywood sign, that there's only north-south streets like Bronson to get up to the Hollywood sign to take that picture there. And but if you didn't know Hollywood, you're like, okay, well, that does look like LA. That's the Hollywood sign. You've seen it in movies, whatever. That must be an LAPD officer. But then if you look at the vehicle, one, we don't drive Crown Vics anymore. Too bad, so sad. Two, underneath the word police, it always says to protect and to serve. And the badge is wrong. The uniform is a little bit wrong. He doesn't have the police thing. You'd have your name and a metal tab on one side. Usually you'd have something between the gun and the belt buckle, and like your keys would usually hang there sometimes, I don't know. And then if you know cops, you know that they don't wear expensive sunglasses because they get knocked off when you get in a fight. But anyway, so like that's totally AI generated police officer. And so like, what the fuck? I mean, like we're getting to a point where we're not going to know what is real And I guess that's what the conversation is about.
Yeah, we've crossed that point. That you're going to have to question anything that you see on video anymore. Video evidence isn't going to mean what it once was. But I almost wonder, and this kind of stretches back, did either one of you watch The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the day? Do you remember that movie?
Years and years ago. I don't even remember. I don't remember the story.
Okay, well, part of it is he gets framed. He's a prisoner in jail, and he has to go through the Running Man competition and like to get his freedom or whatever. But the way that he's put in there is they use like AI. You know, they swap faces and they change the whole story to make it look like he's this mass murderer when really he was trying not to kill anybody. And so, you know, it was just one of those things, and they killed another person in the competition during the movie. It's a great movie to go back and watch related to this topic. And I almost wonder, did they have the power back then to do what they were doing in the movie? Were they kind of showing us, hey, we can do this. We can swap people around and trade places and faces, and you would never know the difference to see it on the silver screen. You wouldn't know. So I often wonder. I mean, we know there's stunt doubles and all kinds of stuff like that they've used for a long time, but I wonder, you know, like, how advanced is it? Because usually when it becomes public and we can see it, it's the government and everybody's had it for a long time. They've, you know, done a development. So, you know, I'm sure it's been used, weaponized against us already. We just don't know it yet.
Didn't know it, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that the other day with the Zapruder film, Zapruder, JFK shooting, and how there's like a variation of it. But that was like before AI existed. So
yeah, Bill Cooper.
Before we knew what AI was, it could have existed back then.
Right, but now you can make AI that looks like a picture from the 20s, a picture from the 80s. As Bruder. Listen, you're not going to get me to pronounce that correctly. It's not going to happen. Zapruder. Thank you. How do we know the entire past wasn't AI? That you're going a little deep down the rabbit hole circle one.
Hey, who knows? Who knows?
So along with revenge porn, which of course is disgusting and it could ruin people's, you know, lives and livelihoods and marriages and relationships and employment and all of the stuff. But if you can put your ex-girlfriend's head on somebody on a dirty video, couldn't you put your 5-year-old neighbor in a video? And aren't the people on the left that think that that's just part of the rainbow, the whole map thing?
Yeah, it's just a sexuality, right? It's not
right. So then there's no crime because there isn't a real kid being hurt. And the little girl next door doesn't even know that she's in this video, and she's not employed, so she's not worried about her whatever. I didn't put her name. I just really like the little girl next door, and I want to see this video. This is how dark it can get. And then from a law enforcement perspective, is the first thing that we would have to do is find out if this video is real. Like, usually people would bring us a video. Hey, I found this, video on my son's computer. And then you would have to find out, like, who is the victim in this? Where did this occur? What is the jurisdiction? Is it us? And what is the statute of limitations of this? So if it's a snuff film from the 1920s, we're not going to assign a detective to it. So on these AI videos, let's say the neighbor girl, first you have to find out if it's even real. So now you're making people watch this over and over and over again, looking for artifacts. And needless to say, she probably doesn't have a uniform with a patch on the sleeve. So it's really dark. And I think, especially when you could use a real face to make something that dark out of it, I don't even know where you begin to make that illegal. But vile.
Well, I think it's kind of already that kind of thing's already illegal, isn't it? I mean, wouldn't that still sort of fall under CP and all that kind of thing? I mean, you're not supposed to have it.
Not really, because
it's not
you
a
can
real
have
person.
yeah, you can have hentai, you can have like gross cartoons, you can have that kind of stuff. That gross porn cartoons already exist. And there's no like legislation over them. Like, that's too many tentacles. They don't give a shit. And so if it's AI, like, how do you even begin to prove? Like, first of all, it's a kid, so they don't have an ID. And that would be if you're trying to prove that it was real.
I guess if I was unfortunate enough to have to try to prove or disprove a video like that, I would try to find things like birthmarks or something like that that the AI is not going to be able to accurately depict, or, it's going to be, if somebody did like a fake video of, let's say, Carrie, I would probably be able to tell whether or not it was fake or not, because I know her well enough to know, that ain't right or something, So.
La 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 la.
But just, not to be graphic. I mean, if you was your child, you should probably be able to look at that and know whether or not that's actually your child. I'm not saying for sure, but AI is very close and very, realistic and convincing, but it's not 100% all the way there. There's still some things that it gets wrong. So, at least for now.
There was just a very weird noise coming out of my kitchen. Dude, the other night when there was that bang that came from my kitchen, a shelf inside a cabinet just decided to fall. And I didn't know until the next morning. I went to make eggs and I opened my cabinet and all these like spices came flying at my face. Like, what is going on? Red Bike says a student at a school near me used faces of girls in his school and put them on nudes. I don't know that I want to know, but I do want to know. Are we talking minors or are we talking adults?
I've heard about that happening. Maybe not that specific school or that specific kid, but I have heard of other like high school students doing this. So it is minors, but it's a minor that's doing it. So then how do you prosecute that one?
Well, I mean, the left is going to say you don't. It's like, wasn't it a state representative from Kentucky who wanted to give child real dolls to kitty pervs?
Yeah.
Because that'll be enough. And
then they won't do it to real kids.
They won't offend because they've got their little perv doll at home. And it was crazy because before this, I looked up when real dolls started, and they started in 96. That's a long time ago.
But I think back then they weren't like realistic like they are now. I think they were more advanced than the blow up dolls, but they were still like totally fake. But now, I don't know, they're getting too real. It's really freaky.
They're getting really real. And one, I am happy that people who don't want real relationships can stop wasting my time on Tinder. Not that I'm on Tinder. I've been banned for life. But it's, if you don't want a real relationship and you just want a doll to hump in the privacy of your own room, cool. Then I'm glad that there's that for you. But they now have all these AI girlfriends too, that are these different apps that you download that you can have a girlfriend who's going to tell you like, you're so smart, you're so funny, you're so sexy. And like, they're just like these like Stepford wife, like girls, and like real women can't compete with that. Cause like we have to work tomorrow and we have, like shit to do and laundry and kids and whatever. And
I could give them some help on making it realistic.
Huh?
I said I could give them some help on making it realistic, more realistic.
Maybe you could be one of them, like secretly.
No, I don't want to.
There again is another instance of where there was a movie, like, I don't know, was it like 10 years ago? It was with Joaquin Phoenix and it was called Her. And it was about a guy who fell in love with the voice of his digital assistant. on his phone, and it got to the point where he couldn't go out with real women and go on dates anymore because he was just in love with his voice on his phone.
Yeah, wasn't that Joaquin Phoenix in
Yeah.
that movie? I liked him in that one movie, and then he turned crazy. It happened to Taylor Swift, Pamela Rutledge says. They immediately shut it down for her. Her face was put on some really nasty poses. Yeah, but Pammy, like, what if it happens to me? Like, I don't have $1 million attorneys to be able to fight it. And if somebody did it of me, people are going to look at it and go, okay, I don't know who that is. It's never going to get back to me. Nobody's going to say, like, oh my God, that must be Molly. Like, so I wouldn't even probably know about it. And then there would just be people at the grocery store going, like, that's the girl I saw or whatever. So yeah, it's really crazy, but I think with the AI girlfriend, it sort of changes the game because now you have the competition in like the dating pool where your girlfriend, your wife, like real people aren't gonna cut the mustard because they have, you know, needs and wants and shit to do instead of like this AI generated shit, the slop that basically is just there to be your fucking slave and tell you every moment.
Agree with everything you say and just, oh, you're just the best. I just love you so much. No arguments, no nothing, no fighting, just always nothing but positivity. So yeah.
Just as a stupid side quest, I watched this show today called Farmer Wants a Wife. I love all these like social experiment shows. It's total brain rot and I'm so there for it. And so they had these like 6 dudes from Australia and they had these girls like vying for their love. And so he picks a couple of them to go back to the farm. And you're not going to get me to do an Australian accent. I don't have enough of the vowels that like, I don't know how the word no has 7 syllables in it, but somehow they just get it to be like, no. Anyway. But the guys go and they pick these girls. And of course, like they're all beautiful. And then they go to the farm and like, oh, I just love cow shit. Oh, this is so great. And then I can make you dinner. And like, he picked the ones, every single one of these farmers picked the one that was just the most like subservient, the most like, I don't have a thought in my head. What do you think I should think? Like every one of them picked that girl. And so now we wonder like why AI girlfriend apps are becoming like so huge. And it's like, well, that's what some guys want.
One thing I thought was interesting was that I don't participate in that, but apparently OnlyFans girls are losing out to AI generated models. And so, you know, like they're millions of dollars are going to this non-person, a fake person or whatever company that's running this thing. And I just, there was a little bit of protesting from their part on there. Some of the girls were like, hey, this isn't fair. You know, like we can't live up to that standard. We'll never look, you know, they're perfect and they will always be. They'll never gain weight. They'll never have a bad day, you know, all that kind of thing. So,
but it was so that's the problem with porn in general, though, because just because you're 20 right now and look like that, there's always somebody younger, perkier, more exotic, moanier, whatever the fuck. That's the problem with porn, is that it pickles that part of your brain, that sensation-seeking part of your brain that's like, okay, yeah, that was cool, but I wonder if there's an Asian chick, or I want to see, you know, a black Amazon woman, or like, I wonder if they have midgets on here. And like, you just start going down this like thing trying to like, you know, Pokemon, like gotta catch them all. And it's
just one right after another, just click, nope, next one, next, and you're just speeding through. And
right. And that's going to be the problem with AI generated stuff, is that it's better than real. Because if I want her in a Sailor Moon costume right this second, like some real whore on the internet is like, oh, I got to go get changed into that, or I don't have that, but you know, stay tuned next week and I'll buy an outfit. Like, no, I want an Oompa Loompa now. And so in that way, I think it's not that bad, because it's like, let's put these whores out of business. Ladies, go find another job to do. If guys want to fap to cartoons, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like,
how does that, something like that? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rob.
I was just going to say, I watched a YouTube video about a year ago where a guy was talking about how, and I don't remember how it started, but he was trying to do something, trying to generate an online business, and it wasn't working out. And he decided, why don't I just make these fake OnlyFans sites for an AI girl? And he just used AI, and he created all these images, and he put up this site, and he just started making money, just pouring in with this fake AI girl. So
I don't have any hate for the people making the money, but I'm like, what in the hell is the matter with people that would pay money for? I don't get it. I don't understand the market. I don't
either. I never have.
Free stuff out there on the internet. Why would you pay? That's the exact same thing. I mean, it isn't going to be very unique or special. I mean, shit.
I think it's kind of awesome, actually, because you're just like, oh yeah, she looks so fucking good, and it's like, it's a dude that's like, oh yes, you are so beautiful, and then like when you see it, it's a girl going, oh yes, you are so, and so like I kind of think that it's rad that men are just like, ooh, there's a guy, I should have gotten him. There's a guy on YouTube, I love him so much. He is this like big strapping young Russian lad. And he dresses up like an e-girl and like, ooh, and like with the little cat ears and like a little like low cut top with cleavage and like this like wig on and stuff. And these guys are like, oh yeah, you look really good. Can I see more? Yeah, let me see more, whatever. And he's like, oh yeah, you want to see more? Whatever. And then it's like all of a sudden, because he does like the female voice, like, ooh, like, oh yeah, whatever, like, oh, you're beautiful. Where are you from? I am from Russia. Like, oh, Russia is so exotic. Why don't you show me a little bit more? What do you want to see? You want to see this? Whatever. And they'll like make a muscle or something. And these guys are like, what the fuck, man? And like, it's just so rad. And like one thing, I mean, I like it for the comedic aspect, but I also love it for like, he will walk the streets. He walked Venice Beach. He's walked in Las Vegas. That was a kind of a scary one. And he walks around and these men like catcall him and he's just walking. And people are trying to stop. He got into a car and like, as somebody who had to be a prostitute undercover for LAPD, like you just don't get in the car. Like you just, once they find out that they're in trouble or that it's not what they think, like you can get stabbed faster than you can get out of the car. Like you don't get in the car. So I really need to talk to him and give him, Vladimir is his real name. And he goes by Natalia, I think. But yeah, it's these guys get tricked. I don't know how, but they do. And for the porn industry to trick people into thinking that those are real, like I don't really worry about that so much because those guys would like jerk off to an old picture of their mom. So like, I'm not really worried about them like getting up to speed with like normalcy. Let them go do whatever degenerate shit that they want to do. But that will leave us so much depravity in our culture. Yes. Utah is the highest in CP and trafficking. That really surprises me, actually.
Yeah, that's where the Mormons are, isn't it, Utah?
Well, that would explain it.
Yep, that would explain it.
AI needs to be heavily regulated ASAP. Not going to happen. That's exactly what Trump did right off the bat. He came out and gave all the tech bros a big blank check to create havoc for the next 10 years. They can't. No states are supposed to put any regulation on AI and everything. So it's going to go, nuts here. And, I think that's the purpose in it, is to kind of separate us from reality. Most of us used to have several combinations from high school, or a combination for our locker and for gym and all our friends' phone numbers. And now we rely heavily on our phone. So even we have been trained to rely on technology, and younger people are leaning into it real heavy. And like, if the computer tells us something, that is truth, absolute, whether it's right or not, they don't even question it. So.
Right. But just think about like AI, like what if I made a video that shows, remember Ruby Freeman I think she was from Atlanta, and she was like running through all these ballots through the machine over and over and over again until Biden won. But what if you had those videos concocted for like every state? I mean, think about this, left. not that there's probably anybody here, but if I concoct a bunch of videos that show fraud, then we can just say that your president didn't win and ours did, and here's the video. And you can easily make that video because one, it's kind of grainy, and you can show people ballot stuffing or running ballots through again or changing ballots or whatever, shredding, like that. Those would be easy videos to make. And that can totally change the future of our country. It just leads to real low trust society shit. And we're just not ready for that.
Could you believe that the Charlie Kirk videos that you've seen were faked or AI generated?
All of them, or are you talking about the last one?
The specifically the kill shot videos.
Well, so you had so many people there live. Like, sure, you could make a fake video if he was like in studio and something happened and it was in his own like biosphere and nobody saw it except for on video later and not live in front of people's faces.
The reason I can't allow myself to go there is because if he's still alive, that means he was part of all of it. And that means this is all bullshit. We can't believe anybody anymore, ever. If that guy, who was one of the few people that I actually looked to and I thought he was on the level, and I didn't agree with everything he said, and some of the time I was like, I think you're going in the wrong direction, but then there towards the end he was steering back and I think he was getting on the right track. But if he's still alive, that means everything is bullshit. And I'm already at the black pill, okay? So if everything is bullshit, then where do I go from here?
Right.
Good question.
What's
Good
blacker
question.
than black?
Good question.
Yeah, I just don't think so, Chris. Like, I've heard that the theory that it was a hologram. He was pulled into a trapdoor. They like pulled a fucking
Well, I don't necessarily know
magician's.
that, but I would say, you could couple many things. You could couple a squid in a blood pack with AI generated, on top of that, and make a very convincing scenario in which somebody actually didn't die, but would appear to many people that they did die. I'm saying it's conceivable. I'm not saying I guarantee you this is what happened, because I would never say that, but I'm saying it is conceivable and in the realm of possibility, and there is motive if you look at it. I mean, with all the money that came pouring in, and Charlie Kirk, if he's still alive, would and be a beneficiary of all that too. So I just put it out there as what we saw. When you said real grainy, that's one thing that when I watch a video, I go, is this bullshit or is it not? And I don't know too many people who run around with their phone camera on 480 and really choppy, grainy videos. Like, when I see a shoplifting video from Walmart, you get high definition, high fidelity video of the incident, the body cam, the dash cam, all this stuff. And when it comes to these big incidents, all we get is these really bad, long distance, grainy ass videos that are really short and cut up. And that's what makes me question it. Especially when something happens, like a person gets shot and they take the camera away from the action. Like, then a normal person, I don't think would do that, but maybe they do. I don't know. This seems to be one of those frequent things, And when I watched it, there was some people who said that they thought the wound on Charlie's neck moved around as if it was generated. So the hole that you saw. So I don't know if that's true or not. I wouldn't say 100%, but that is an angle that people have put out there as far as that goes.
Well, getting away from AI and just going into the mechanics of how you would fake something like that, the timing would have to be so entirely flawless. And I mean, that's fine when you're making a movie and you have different cameras set up and you can splice it all so that the timing is right. But that shit doesn't happen in real life. If I say bang and you have to like fall over, the timing is never going to be right. And so I've heard all kinds of theories about, there was multiple gunmen, but like you can't have one sound because you've got one person further away from my ear than the other person, and they have to be simultaneous. And like, it's just, I don't know, like I'm all for a good other theory. I find it hard to believe that we have this Tyler Robinson not being a patsy, that he's just a very lucky furry. That's a hard one for me to stomach, but you know, it's possible, but there's a lot of things that are possible. And I think the hologram one is maybe the least possible. I'm not really a fan of that one.
AI was asked to analyze all the footage from the shooting, and it said there was a lack of a supersonic shot, so it wasn't a rifle. Wherever blew up, whatever the sound was, came right from Charlie, from his proximity. So very, very close, if not on him. So there was no, shot and then the sound and then the strike. It was one bang and instantaneous tip over. And I wondered, I guess that gives some credence to a squib and blood pack going off. And AI also said that the volume and splatter pattern was all wrong. So I don't know.
AI gets shit wrong all the time.
The whole point of this conversation. Yeah.
I mean, you could try to go onto your AI of choice and ask it, what the name or what year Abraham Lincoln's heavy metal band toured, and you're giving it information as if it already happened, and they just have to come up with one key component of it. And it's sort of like confirmation bias. So, to say, is this consistent with what you're seeing? Like, the AI wasn't there. And also there's a sound and image differentiation just in real life. And so if on the camera it appears at the same time, that doesn't necessarily equate to what it was like really there. I don't know that AI can really make those determinations any more than like if I took a picture of a body and said, tell me how this person passed. Like, oh, okay, well, the liver looks large. Okay, well, I was standing over on that side of the body or whatever. So I don't know. I mean, I'm open to AI's help, but we also can't look to it like it's this great sky daddy that's going to save us and give us the truth.
Did you hear the story about the man that got arrested? And I believe it was in Vegas because the facial recognition software had identified him as someone else who, in fact, was different height, weight, eye color, and everything. But the facial recognition, said this is the guy, and they detained him. Then the police came and reviewed all the information and found out the guy's name was different. He was different height, different eye color. Everything was different. But because the AI facial recognition system said it was him, they still arrested him and took him down and processed him and everything because they thought he was faking his ID. Come to find out, lo and behold, the AI facial recognition was wrong, even though it had 100% match. So, this guy went to jail because AI got it wrong. The facial recognition got it wrong. And, the differences were big.
That's really fucked. So hopefully he gets some money for his troubles as a little violation of his Fourth Amendment. But that is a good time to segue into this little quiz. So I'm going to show you a series of faces. And if you got this on your phone screen, good fucking luck. Okay, so here's almost about 30 people. 5 of them are real. The rest of them are AI generated. So you got a good chance that you can pick out a real person. So take a look at those and make your selection who you think the most real one is. And I'll tell you which ones are real. And I'm
too much of a skeptic. I don't think any of them are real. I would just be guessing, completely guessing at it.
Yeah.
There's no way.
So that's the rub of it. They are all fake. Every single one of them is AI generated.
Because I mean, I'm looking at them. They all look like they could either be all real or all fake. There's nothing. There's not one that stands out that's like, oh, that was totally different from the rest. They're all just the same.
Yeah. But it's crazy. Usually they're a more like idealized version. Like you'll see a flower and one will be like the perfect lighting with the perfect dew, and like there won't be any like browning to the flower at all whatsoever. And so that's a lot of times like you can tell AI because it's a little bit more idealized. But as we start to get more filters to make things cruddier, to give things shadow, to give things more like realistic texture, we're fucked. Like, it's just, you won't know. One good giveaway is that AI faces rarely have blemishes like real humans. But see, all you have to do is go into AI and just go, give everyone zits. And then all of a sudden they have like giant boils all over their face. And you're like, hey, Grok, chill the fuck out for a second. But okay, so I do want to get to art though. Rod, you are our resident creative. Tell
everybody
me
share that real quick. AI image. I don't know if you want to. There's another AI image for you.
What are you? This one?
Yeah.
That's his booking photo.
Yeah, I know. There's no way that's a real booking photo. No way.
Oh, you don't think he went in and like got like fingerprinted and
How many
photographed?
times have you done it with somebody who had a suit jacket on? Is that a common thing?
Whatever you're wearing, we don't. So it's different. There are places, and LAPD does.
The lighting's bad. I'm sorry.
Well, so the lighting can vary. Depends on what the jail facility is, and he probably didn't go to like the regular like county jail. He probably went to some administrative office potentially. There are some jurisdictions that will put a colored smock around you, and that's just so that when they do a 6-pack photo lineup, that everybody has blue on. I can't tell you how many times, like, it has been so hard to do a photo lineup of my suspect because the only time they were ever arrested, it was like Halloween night and they were in a clown outfit. And so it's like, well, fuck, how do I find like 6 other clowns? Like, this is like so screwed up. I arrested this one girl over and over again. She was a serial burglar. And like sometimes she looked like dog shit because she was a drug addict, and sometimes she looked like supermodel. So it would just depend on what my victim said that the suspect looked like. Okay, oh yeah, she was like really pretty. I didn't know why she was crawling through my bedroom window. Like, okay, got to find a booking photo of her looking good. But so a lot of times they'll put that smock just so that you don't have anything that's drawing your eye. If most people wear, dark colored clothing, and then you've got one guy with like a bright white shirt on and a purple tie because he just like came from his prom and got arrested for DOI or whatever the case is. So they'll put that smocking over them. But otherwise, like, you're wearing what you got arrested in, whether it's ripped, bloody, a suit, like that's booking photos. We don't like take you to the coat check and ask you like, would you like to wear a Scrooge outfit tonight, sir?
What if you got arrested on the beach? Would they put a shirt on you or something?
If you're a guy, probably not. But like once you get into the jail facility, then you're gonna have your like prison scrubs given to you. Okay. But typically I can put you in a holding cell, and I'm just talking LAPD. Although I did work for another jurisdiction, they're retarded, and we're not even going to talk about them. So I can put you in a holding cell, but that's before you've been booked. And booked is you've been checked into the hotel, the Gray Bar Hotel, and fingerprinted, photographed, all that stuff. It comes back. Okay, now we know who you are. And then I can put you into the jail facility. So even like people who have shit themselves, thrown up on themselves, whatever, like I'm not giving you clothes to wear for the booking photo because you're not even officially like in the jail until that process is completed. But other places are different. Like you see booking photos where everybody has the same outfit on, or they've got that smock draped around them for future arrests and for the photo lineup. But yeah, it's different, but for LA standards, that's how it works. And I mean, was that?
Could you believe it?
Are you saying that Trump wasn't arrested?
What's that?
Are you saying that Trump wasn't arrested, or they just called his publicity agent?
I don't think at that level they go through the same stuff we do. I don't think they went, like, especially like even A-list celebrities don't go to actual prison. Even if they're supposed to be there, there's a doppelganger in a cell posing as them, eating meals, producing laundry, somebody that other prisoners can say, hey, I saw that guy from a distance. They never get anywhere close to him because they're kept out of the general population typically. But that I think there are some people who actually go to prison and go because if they mess up and get on the wrong side of the authorities, you're going to go to jail if they don't kill you. But but for the big ones like Trump, I don't find that as a real picture. I don't believe that's a real authentic photograph. It's an image, which is different than a photograph.
You think it was like retouched? I don't know, because there's
I
sometimes
think it's retouched all right from the background up. I don't think that it's an actual booking photo. Photo.
I'm going to tell you a stupid story, but
lighting is bad. It just has all the trappings of it.
Well, I don't know. I like where you're going with that, Chris. Give me 1 second.
All right.
See if that helps my camera focus on my face any, or if the ghosts are just going to take over tonight. To add a little bit of light.
There we go.
Oh, there I am.
There
I am. My cape. I'm on my cape. Why did I think that this was a funny idea until I had to wear it for an hour? I went to high school with Elizabeth Berkley from Showgirls. Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Actress. She was many grades ahead of me. But everybody has like the picture, where we're all like, face the one certain way with the watercolor backdrop, whatever. And she's like on this thing holding a rose and like with neon behind her and just like, because she missed photo day. So I guess they just did some like photo shoot for her and like gave this like glamour shots photo of Elizabeth Berkley for her high school senior yearbook.
Well, she was on Saved by the Bell too, wasn't she?
Yes.
Yeah.
Saved by the Bell. Oh my God. I can't go back and watch that show knowing what I know now. And so you have no idea. The soda shop, the whole thing. Oh my God.
What are you talking about?
The whole thing is this big pedo operation, if you understand it. It's like, the language and the symbolism in the background, a lot of the way they, prop people up, and it just was a little sicko fest. Now that I thought as a kid, I liked watching it and thought it was all great, but now as an adult, I can see the symbolism and understand the language and some of the stuff they're saying. And
really?
Oh my God, yes.
So I was an extra on that show once. And it's like when I hear all these stories about pedos in the Hollywood industry. I started when I was 9. And I guess it just wasn't attractive enough to pedos. Because like nothing like that ever happened to me. Except once. But he wasn't a pedo. I was of age, and it was the owner of a big company that hired me to model his jeans for their catalog. And he asked me to show up early to use my boobs as his pillow before he woke up. And I was like, nah. He's like, do you want to be in the next catalog? Nah. And he never called me again. Oh, well. But I didn't know that about Saved by the Bell. But needless to say, I wasn't, I guess, popular enough to maybe garner any attention from any creeps.
I don't know about that. Maybe you just weren't the right target. They need very specific, they want things to meet. If you had a good family life, did you have a good family life as far as home, a strong family life? Because that would have deterred them probably. They look for
they're looking for kids that can become victims.
Yeah. They
I
want
don't think Lee was being that way at all.
no, she definitely not. Doesn't fit that.
I don't know. Like, my mom was not a stage mom. She would take me to the auditions, but she didn't hover over me. She wasn't, trying to get me to be perfect between takes. She wasn't, trying to coach me. Not to say that she wasn't involved, like, I'll meet you at the car when you're done. She was definitely there if I was to be kidnapped, but she wasn't, like, hovering over me like some moms did. There would have been an opportunity, I would think, at least for somebody to, like, say something to me, but, like, I guess I just didn't exude victim, which is a good thing, I guess. But yeah. Well, okay. So Rod, I want to talk about art. Because you make a living off of digital art.
Yeah.
And that is a job that the fucking bots can steal from you. So
how much of what's behind you is your own work, Rod?
What's that?
How much of what's behind you is your own work?
The two directly behind me here are mine. These two are not mine.
Okay.
Yeah, about 5 years ago, I messed around with AI a little bit. I don't remember what program I was using, whatever the popular one was back then. And I played around with it for a little while, and it was kind of interesting. It wasn't very good. It took forever for it to generate an image. It would take like anywhere from 20 minutes to 2 hours to make an image. And yeah, the result was just never really very good. A lot of artifacts, a lot of weird things. But even then, I was like, this isn't good. It's just going to get better. And I stopped using it. I refused to ever use it. And then, as I kept watching it, though, and I kept watching the art forums and the portfolio sites, and I kept seeing this AI art kept popping up more and more and more and more. And it was getting better and better and better and better. It's just like, I kept saying, this is bad. This is going to get real bad. And now it's to the point where gaming studios are laying people off and using AI to generate their content instead, like their concept artists. Instead of having your concept artists spend weeks and weeks generating, your ideas and coming up with characters and all that stuff, they just push those guys to the side. They type in some words in the prompt, and boom, 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 boom. They're just getting all these images coming back. What about this character? This one. They can compare. And okay, now change it. And within a day, they've got it. They're all everything. So now when I go on the social media sites, I just see artists all over the place looking for work. Like, anybody hiring, anybody know any studios that are looking for anybody? Artists are scrambling, trying to find something. And I feel bad for all the kids that are in art school now, because there aren't going to be any jobs for them.
Right, even sculpture, because you've got 3D printers now.
Yeah, and there are sites now that are popping up that you can type in a prompt, and right now it doesn't do the best job, but it can spit out a 3D model for you that you can then take and just kind of refine and make it a little bit better. But it's not going to be too much longer before that will be really good too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and it's just going to keep going, and then it's not going to stop with art. It's already getting into the music industry. There are AI bands and AI singers that are getting recording contracts. It's already getting into the acting world. There are people who are making complete movies on their phone with AI characters, like start to finish, whole story, all the actors, everybody. Actors are going to have a hard time. And it's not going to stop with the entertainment industry. You look at manufacturing, you look at assembly lines. There used to be people on assembly lines putting things together. Now it's robots. And you go to the store, and a lot of times there aren't checkers. There's just self-checkout. It's going to take everybody's jobs. This is what people aren't understanding. And the more you use this AI, you're training it, you're teaching it. Like, okay, you didn't do very good this time. Make it make it a female instead of a male, and make her like this instead of that. And you're teaching the AI to be like, okay, next time I'll make sure and I'll do it this way. And it's learning. It's dangerous. It's really, really dangerous. And how much longer until you have politicians saying Russia just launched 85 nukes, you know, it's World War IV or whatever. Where does it end?
I'm not sure.
Chris, did you want to say something?
I had a thought there, but it was fleeting.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And so then when all of our thought is relegated to computers to do, then that just makes us like meat suits to like go and do grunt shit to, you know, feed each other and to feed the machine, to build the infrastructure that's needed for more AI stuff, which we've got down in Mason, Michigan right now. They've got a big hubbaloo going on. Hubbaloo. Anyway, I'm having a stroke. Hullabaloo. Is that it?
Sure.
Sorry.
Sounds right.
It's only clove tea, which I've been taking cloves out of my mouth. I don't know if you saw that. I didn't put a strainer on it, so that's good. But there's this like AI facility right now that's trying to take over like a beautiful farmland that's in like Michigan. And people are really fighting against it because, you know, again, you're just like leveling all of our green space for what? For more AI slop so we can make more, you know, cops with tits hanging out for grok. And they get to use, you know, water and electricity and space and all of this shit. And like when you could just, we have empty buildings. Go to Detroit. Like that's what I don't understand, Chris. Like, why don't they go to Detroit where you've got no shortage of empty industrial buildings?
We got it here in Lansing. We got a bunch of places like all the GM plants that used to be here that are closed and are now just they're what do you want to call it? Brownfield. You know, you can't use it because the soil's contaminated. It only has so many uses. I said a long time ago, why the hell don't they put their solar farms there? These are already wide open treeless lots that you could just, you know, put your solar panels there. But no, they always want to go chop down trees or go bust up pristine land and build there for some reason. I have no idea what the point of that is, but it does seem rather weird. And I don't know, is this for AI or is this for data collection? Because, you know, that's the big, when all these institutions, all these companies want to collect data, they got to store it somewhere, you know, otherwise it's kind of useless. And, you know, your phone company has your records from the 80s, you know, still somewhere. And, you know, so they've been storing all this stuff on, it just keeps to get increasing bigger and bigger space they need and more centers. And I guess this is their solution to it. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that's where it's going. I mean, when they record every damn thing that you do, from washing your hands after you flush the toilet to every damn other thing that Google sends out there. And literally they do, because they put a shark, which is like it pretends to be a cell tower, in between a cell phone and the tower, and it was able to pull off every information that your cell phone was sending to Google. And it was literally everything: shutting the door, flushing the toilet, faucet is on, faucet is off. Like it literally, it's recording all that stuff and sending it somewhere. So they need these massive centers to store all this information in, I guess. I mean, that would be my best guess on it. As far as the AI and all the computing, supercomputing power, that's what the internet is. Any computer that's hooked up to the internet, it can use its processing power. So imagine a great big entity that's out there in the internet that can just pull off your computer and thousands of other computers, this computing power all at once. They don't need to make a big supercomputer. We already created it with my laptop and your phone and everything else that we're using currently. You know, so that's
and you're saying that's because they're all interconnected?
Yeah, Skynet's already here, man. It's already here.
Skynet's here, and it's in the bathroom with you.
That's right. It's listening.
Utah has 6 data centers, large-scale vacancy of office space here. They're tax sheltered. Yeah, I mean, no doubt there's going to be money to be had, especially just like any other improvement in technology. Like first, the porn industry steals it for their uses, and then the rest of us decide that it could be used for other things. So I don't know, like when Pammy was talking about we need to regulate it, I don't know how you do regulate it, because like truthfully, and I know that I'm always on my soapbox about this, but you could use AI to go through kiddie material to identify suspects, victims, locations, metadata, potential jurisdiction issues, and timeline, and they'd rather make AI girlfriends for everyone. So it's like
the information that they already have and don't act on. I know this is something that was local, but Detroit had like something like millions and millions of untested rape kits and all this other stuff that had just gotten backlogged and kind of stuck in a warehouse, and they didn't bother to go through and process any of that. It wasn't from lack of collecting data. They just didn't either have the manpower or the willpower to go through and process all this stuff. So how much of that stuff's already out there that they know of and just don't seem to do anything about, I don't know.
Right. And then with Tyler Robinson, they like swabbed the gun, and in like 4.5 minutes they knew his DNA was on it.
Well, he sent his boyfriend a text. Oh, I just shot her. I hope I don't get caught. The gun is here, and I'm right now. Get out of here! It's so stupid.
Remember, my sweetheart, when I was engraving those bullets when you were watching Wheel of Fortune? Like, yeah, that was ridiculous.
I jokingly said that he etched a 1 terabyte manifesto on a bullet casing just because that's how ridiculous, it gets to be.
Well, yeah, I mean, all of that was ridiculous for multiple reasons. I mean, it doesn't help them when you've got people going like, oh, Fed, Patsy, the text messages were AI. Yeah, I don't know. I think that is, when you talk about like actors, the actors in these AI commercials, I don't have a TV, so I'm not like watching stuff like normal people do. But I do see a lot of AI ads on YouTube, and one, like their mouth never moves with the voice, like not perfectly. But they're getting better at acting. But what I would say is there is an affectation that we don't really usually use when we talk about, like, there's just a little something off about it. What if AI is AI? Thanks, Circle of One. You're cracking the case over there. But yeah, like once it gets better, because I don't know if you guys saw that one video of the AI girlfriend, or she wasn't AI, it was like a real doll robot girlfriend who was like coming in for a kiss to the guy. Did I send that to you, Rod?
I've seen that, yeah.
And, I mean, her facial expressions are fantastic.
I know.
She looks very vulnerable, like she's ready for a kiss, and he like comes up and I think he like touches her lip or something, and then she kind of like gets a little bit shy. Like the body language on this fucking robot doll is wild. And then she wants you to fuck her all day. So you're like, I'll take 2 of these and like, get off the dating apps, which, that'll be good for real women, but then there won't be anybody left. So,
yeah, I mean, the birth rates for Caucasian people right now are nosediving. I saw a study recently that said within the next 10 years, we're going to be a minority in this country.
Do you think that's because of porn? Do you think we're like bigger consumers of it?
I don't know why the birth rate is declining so much among white people.
Feminism.
There you go. Yeah.
Feminazis.
Could be a lot of different things.
Yeah, I mean, you do have like no shortage of raging feminazi white liberal women that don't need no man.
They don't want to be wives and they don't want to be mothers, pretty much. That's what feminism taught them, is to be men. Yeah. Everybody's a man now. So, I mean,
right. Yeah. Even we have a Planned Parenthood here in Lansing that's next to a clock repair that I have to keep going to this clock repair to get this clock done. And they've got people that are out front that are not protesting, but like giving these girls another option, like, hey, come over here and like talk to me. And I always want to like buy them a coffee, but then I realized like there's just so many fucked up people in this world. Like if I gave them a coffee, I wouldn't want them to drink it because I wouldn't want them to drink stuff that a stranger handed them because you just don't know anymore. Like, and this is what this AI thing is doing to us. We're becoming.
Uh-oh. She froze.
Earlier today about. Did I?
Yeah, you froze.
I'm not frozen.
Yeah.
Fucking AI.
Yeah, you said AI, and they were like,
Really?
for a split second. Anyway, I don't know how it'll show up on the recording on like Rumble or anything, but
what if Molly is AI? Seriously, okay. What if somebody thought you? What if somebody thought you were AI? How do you prove that you're real? What would you do?
Go meet him, I guess.
You have to show up in person.
Yeah.
You couldn't do it over Zoom or anything because you're AI.
I can't believe that I malfunctioned. I don't know how I would prove that I was real, but yeah, in person. But like Rod, like we live thousands of miles apart. How do you know that I'm real?
You know, I mean, I can't say that thought hasn't crossed my mind because I sometimes, a lot of times, think about the Truman Show, and I wonder if I'm the only real person in this whole fucking world.
You're not alone. You're not alone. I guess we're both in the Truman Show or something because I definitely feel out of place in this very fucked up world. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Because Rod, we've never met in person. I have sent you videos of me driving around, running my errands, like, you know, cleaning my shit, like doing my daily life. But that none of that is anything that you couldn't fake. I send you enough spam every day that you're like, this girl can't have a job. Send all of your followers your toenail clippings. Circle of one. Listen, if I get $5
and have their own Molly, but that would be gross because they would have to figure out a way to speed up your aging, and you know, otherwise it would be some pedo shit.
But if I was AI, like, wouldn't you pick a better avatar? Like, wouldn't you?
I think that's
You're
what
like
makes me get a definite, you know, a classic real is, you know, you wouldn't use something that face like this, you know, if you was trying to convince people of anything. So
you're exactly what I would look at, like, because nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Oh, yes.
You're exactly. Yeah, we're not sending toenail clippings, thanks. But see, part of like, so I belong to a couple of groups on Facebook we talked about last week, and everybody's always saying like, oh, show me a picture of you from the 80s. Oh, show me a picture of you from like the old club days, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, we all like, oh, I only have like 4 pictures of me from that whole decade. You know, I can't just like come up with shit. But if you're looking at AI and you're like, hey, take my picture and, you know, generate a younger version of me at an 80s nightclub, you know, whatever, sucking off George Michael, like you could probably get that. Why did that come to my head? I don't know. It's very odd.
But that would make me really suspect if you had like tons of pictures of you way back then when we didn't have phones, we didn't carry cameras around with us. That's why I don't have very few pictures of me from back then, because none of us had cameras, didn't have phones, none of that.
I'm an AI because I'm glitching. No, I'm real, fortunately. To your point there, Rob, the camera view is important. Whenever you see a picture, you always got to think of the cameraman. Who took this picture? How did they take that picture? Yeah, really important.
That's what I think when I go on dating apps, and I'm like, who's taking all these pictures of you? Who's in the bathroom at the gym with you, sir?
Right. People who take pictures in bathrooms are creepy, in my opinion. That's a sure sign of a creepiness.
I love to match with those people just to roast them and be like, are you going to be okay in there? Can we get a courtesy flush? Do I need to send the fire department in for you? Like, you okay? Hey, show me a picture of you from 1637. I'm not that old. Although I do have my Scrooge outfit on. Scrooge was Victorian, though. That's like early 1900s. Yeah. So what do you think, though, Rod? Like, do you think that you want to then start to use some of this AI so that you can stay relevant, or just go down with the ship?
I refuse to use AI, and I won't. If anybody because I follow a lot of artists, and if any of them start showing signs that they're using AI, I stop following them. I don't want any part of it. I think there's just something so weird about it. It's almost evil, in a way. It has just a soulless feel to it. Like,
yeah,
there's
but
no. What are you gonna say?
They can't add to it what you add to it, though. Like somebody that writes the AI is not going to have your creativity in your mind. You know what I mean? They're not going to be able to produce what you can. If you use it as a tool, I'm not saying to use it. If you're, say you're against it, all right. But, just thinking of it as a tool for you, in your hands, what could you do with it as somebody who is already a creative person with pencil and paper or pen or brush or whatever,
Yeah, I know that some people, or maybe a lot of people, use it to generate ideas or like concepts, and then they maybe take that and like, oh, that's kind of interesting, that part up there in the corner, and then they use that and they spawn off of that and they make something else. So for that, I can understand. But when I see these people just, oh, look what I made. You didn't make that, dude. The computer made that.
Yeah.
So I would never use it for those purposes. Possibly for just to generate ideas or general concepts, but even then, I just don't like it. There's just something too weird about it for me, and I just won't use it. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing, and people like it, great. If they don't, whatever. Don't like it then.
I know there's a lot of researchers and truthers, or whatever you want to say, that refuse to use it just because they won't use Chat GPT or any kind of AI software because they just don't trust it, and it's not, actually reliable as people think it is.
I guess I just don't see what's like, we had the printing press and, people weren't clutching their pearls in horror over it. We've had, computers that spell check, although they still aren't spell checking as well as my mother would spell check. They're not as smart as her. And then, we have other technologies that we use and don't think anything of, like, oh, I want to go visit Rod. Like, am I going to walk? Am I going to take a steam train, or am I just going to get in a car and go? To me, I kind of think of it like sewing. I cut out the pattern. I sewed it. I put on the appliques. I did this and that. Did I make the fabric of it? No, I didn't, but I still made it. And I guess, I wonder why it's not like that with art. Like the thumbnail that we did for tonight, we had that stupid AI background and I put our heads on it. I'm not saying I'm an artist. Clearly I'm not. But I think it's almost funny to use it for, I guess, the kind of art that I make, which is garbage on purpose, which is why I've been using those for our backgrounds. Yeah. But if I could just go into a prompt and say, using the faces in our database of all the faces of us making faces and stuff, make a thumbnail 1280 by 720 of make Rod C-3PO and make me a blow-up doll, and it just came up with it, I'd be like, cool, thanks. Now I can go on to the next fucking thing I need to do.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying, though.
Yeah, Rod in somebody's hands, some jackass is not going to be able to produce the same thing Rod would be able to because he's creative and an artist and has those things. So in his hands it would be more powerful than just some jackass like me. It would make the most creative thing, and it would probably be very obvious that it's AI, that I didn't do it myself. But
well, a cobbler that's making some like real craftsmanship shoes that are going to last you the next, 40 years and you're going to get them resold versus some like Temu garbage that's made out of, various phases of plastic and foam and whatever. Like people are choosing like, oh, these shoes are only, $15. Yeah. And like, they're going to cost you thousands of dollars for surgery later. Yeah, but they're $15. Like, I feel like there's a lot of people that are valuing this like low level garbage and that they don't care that they're jerking off to an AI pair of tits.
I guess I just look at the long term, and I mean, yeah, it might be fun and you might be able to pop out funny little images and videos and things like that. But you've got to look past that and see where it's going and what it's going to do. It's not going to stay where it is. It's not going to just be this low level fun thing. It's already escalating. It's already putting people out of work. It's taking jobs. It's taking over industries. It's doing all of this stuff, and it's doing it at a very, very rapid pace.
That was one thing I was going to say earlier that I forgot about was the jobs that AI is taking out, which is surprising a lot of people. They thought it was going to be, certain jobs. It turns out it's a lot broader than people. I don't think anybody would have thought artists would lose their job to AI. We kind of knew that people like accountants might lose their job to AI and that kind of thing, where it's data entry and, sort of that rudimentary computer entry level type stuff that we were going to lose out. But yeah, we're losing, not only artists like Rod, but actresses and actors and, somebody was just talking about writing music. Yeah, it'll all become soulless kind of cookie cutter garbage after a while. I mean, we're pretty much there already, but, the culture's been bottomed out as far as that goes.
Yeah, the AI music has been really interesting because you can say, rewrite the Misfits, whole album, whatever, Legacy of Brutality, but make it in the style of doo-wop and like, boom, it's like instantaneous and it's good. Yeah. And so like, how do you like not dabble with that where you're like, oh man, this is actually really good.
My mom loves the doorbell cameras. Ones that they're doing, the new AI ones. I don't know if you've seen those where they're like the exploding packages and all that kind of stuff where they're doing. Have you seen any of those? Yeah, my mom.
Yeah, and I saw a drunk girl like going up to the door and talking to her boyfriend that was all fake.
Yeah, I had to tell my mom, like, Mom, that ain't real. I mean, it looks real, but I'm telling you, that's fake. That's not real.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
My mom sends me those too. Like, no, Mom, they didn't teach the dogs to synchronize swim. But yeah, it's like if it's super obvious, but the thing is it's going to get more and more subtle as it like learns to manipulate like the predator. Like,
how long has it been with us though? How long has it already been a part of us and we didn't even know it? Because I can tell you a long time ago, there was some Facebook profile out there, like a page that said, I'm not real or whatever it was. And it was literally like 1,000 Facebook profiles. I guess the guy created up to 1 million, but he had 1,000 like core ones that were completely fake history, fake job history, fake posting, liking, and like they were all liking each other. So it looked authentic. And from the outside, you would never know that was a bot. But so like they've been with us since at least 2009. And Rod had talked about the video game things. Call of Duty, one of the scandals that just came out about that was they were separating people by skill level. So depending on how good or bad you did in a round, you might put you in a different group of people. And some people were either so good or so bad, they were getting put in there with bots. And they were really upset that the only people that they're playing with are just bots and they're not other real human beings, because it isn't like it was back in the golden days what I remember back in like 2009, 2010, the old Modern Warfare, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, putting that in and playing it and having that experience is completely gone because we can't even speak to each other in the video games anymore. They've taken out all the lobbying, talking to real people and all that stuff. So now it's just, you have no idea if you're up against a computer bot or a real person. Same thing with arguments on Facebook. You have no idea if the person that you're talking to is a real human being or just generating, because I've had those arguments was clearly a bot. And the conversation is completely disjointed. Like, it cannot keep track of the conversation and will lose its own spot and start talking about something else. Is really bizarre.
Oh. And that's how you know that it's a bot?
Yeah.
Well, you should try joining Duolingo with Rod and I, because they put you in these like challenges with these fucking bots. And like, I've done screenshots and stuff. They put you in these challenges. It's like 4 days long. Who can get the most points? You're going to get demoted if you don't like get your points up. You need to, like, I follow some guy named Levantre who's also learning Japanese. And so like, oh, Levantre just did 3 lessons. Don't you want to like get up to speed and do 3 lessons so that you can like stay in this like category with him? Like, yeah, you know, and you kind of like form these like camaraderie, like, or whatever, where you're cheering each other on. And it's like, Levantre probably isn't even real. And you can see that sometimes somebody will have like 480 points for the week. And the next time you log in, like, you've gone up and you're like, yeah, I know I'm going to like, ooh, cool, I beat Levantre. But now Levantre has like 380 points. Like, there's no way to go down. There's no way to go down unless it's like a fucked up glitch. And then they give you awards that you didn't do the work on. I don't know if that happens to you, Rod, but they give me things that I didn't do a lesson, and it does that. Don't say that. Levantre is real. I'm a real boy.
Well, one thing that happened to me recently was I went 2 days without getting any points because I kept messing up a lot and I just couldn't get a point. And then on the 3rd day, I did 1 lesson and boom, 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 I got 3 points. And then the next day I did 1 lesson and boom, 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 I got 3 more points. I'm like, how did I get all these points off of 1 lesson?
Yeah. Duolingo is like a big fat scam, but it works off of that like dopamine thing of like, hey, we're all, you know, in this together. Like you're saying with Call of Duty, where you're like, oh shit, yeah, these are my people that I'm running a, whatever you would call it, with a thing. And, but yeah, there's ways to catch Duolingo. And you can't talk to anybody, but you can leave comments on their shit. And they'll leave comments on, like, if you do 10 lessons in a day, like, you'll have people that are messaging you on your thing, on your wall kind of thing, where it'll say like, great work, Molly. And you're like, I think the only way people know that I'm real is because I curse on everybody's Duolingo page. Okay, so Pammy, I don't want to lose this. Pammy says, now I remember what I was going to ask y'all. Disney recently signed a massive deal with an AI company so people can create alternative content using Disney characters. On alternative content, are you meaning like Snow White Part 2, or are we talking about dirty stuff? I feel like Disney wouldn't allow people to create dirty Disney, although I think that's already been done in various
Yeah,
forms.
I only heard just a little bit about that. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's not dirty stuff. I think it would be so you could use their characters to make your own like fan fiction type stuff. I
mean, well, one, it's cartoons, so kind of who cares?
Disney's
but even actors.
But I mean, isn't it always also like Star Wars and stuff like that too? Or is it all? I think it's all of their catalog, not just like Snow White and stuff.
Yeah, we were just talking about how much the voice actors for The Simpsons make, and they used to make a shit ton, and they're not making as much anymore. I think it's like 100,000 or 200,000 an episode, which is still, you can hire me, I'll do it. But at what point do they, like, because there are AI databases where you can go and get my voice and make my voice say stuff. And what's weird is that people have gone onto these databases to ask weird stuff, to ask my voice. And I can log into this database to see what the last people were that asked for my voice to say something about like sucking my toes or bring me your laundry or whatever, like just this weird stuff where it's like, who's doing this? And I used it for our intro, the Tom Cruise. I'm Tom Cruise and I love Molly Sleuth, because I thought that was funny, you know. He doesn't know that he loves me, but if he knew, he would know. He would know that he loves me. But I had to have his voice, his AI voice generator say that. And there's all these like AI generated data banks. And then you've got these people that are like dead where they're like creating them in AI and having these relationships with them, which is sort of dark. But then like I think about it, and if I could have my grandma here, and like that would be really nice and comforting. And why not? People talk to ghosts and other bullshit. Like, so why not have an AI generated version of somebody that you loved?
I think I saw something like that recently where it was either a voice or like a full, I think it was, what you do is you take a video of like your grandma before she dies. All you need is like a 30-second video of like her full body, like just talking for like 30 seconds. And then from that, they generate like whatever you want. She can say whatever you want. You can have full-on conversations with her. 10 years after she's gone, you can still talk to her. It's so weird.
Yeah, it is weird, but it's also really dark because you think about like, oh, that's really nice. It's like my grandma and she's like cheering me on with my football game today. And then you're paying for a subscription to the service. And if you stop paying it, it's like your grandma has died all over again. It's really kind of fucked up. The Duolingo fraud is bigger than the Somalia mafia. Grandma's hologram is like, I never cared for you. That wouldn't be my grandma. My grandma loved me. Yeah, so it's I'm conflicted about it because I can see where it can help us. But also, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of darkness that it can do.
There's one aspect that we haven't really talked about, and that is some people have theorized, and this is even from the top level, that AI is actually a way for us to speak to like demons or fallen entities or beings in another dimension. If you go look at what Geordie Rose said about the D-Wave computer and how it works, that's basically what he said. It just pulls they ask it a question and it pulls the answer out of the ether, from some other dimension, and they're, you know, the way he talks about it is like demonic and that kind of thing. And I know, like I said, there's some YouTubers that I know in not flat earthers, but you know, the kind of ones that won't use any chat GPT because they think they are communicating with demons and that kind of thing. And I was just wondering what you guys thought of that kind of idea. Is this stuff being generated from some, you know, evil place or something like that? Or
well, that's kind of what I was talking about before, where I get this weird feeling from it. It just feels, it's so, I mean, it looks realistic, but there's something so off about it that it just feels like it's originating from a source of
it does cause some kind of disgust in most people, and like I don't know, I don't think that's unnatural or wrong either. I think there's probably a reason that people have that sort of innate kind of distrust or dislike of it. I wouldn't say it would go as far as demons, but I don't know. But I did just notice, because my eyesight is pretty bad, under Rod's thing it says not created with AI. Are we sure about that? I mean, are we sure? This could be just some kind of AI simulation that we're living through right now. I don't know.
I'll hold up 2 fingers and touch my nose.
Hold up 10 fingers, because Ben says demons can't count.
But I have 11 fingers.
What is Rule 34, Red Bike?
That's the cartoon porn. That's what they call it.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. I am unaware. But I guess so. Like, so what you're saying is it's more like a Ouija board than a computer program, than a calculator?
that's what, according to Jordy Rose and some of the top people, they were saying we are dealing with entities that are, almost supernatural to us. And, if AI was able to take control, it would not give a shit about what our sensitivities and what we care about or anything. It's just going to do its own thing, sort of like, in his words, like the, what was the thing? Something like Warcraftian gods of old or whatever it was that he was talking about, and just, like these entities that didn't really good or bad or was moral or anything didn't really matter to them. You're talking to your old, like you said, talking to grandma. Yeah, who would you really be talking to? Just that reminded me, like what you said with the Ouija board, when you're channeling this thing, what are you really talking to? If anything, I know it's you.
Okay,
if I'm doing the Ouija board with you, I know you're the one moving it because you already said you would. So.
I openly cheat at the Ouija board. I love it. There's nothing more fun than like
it's the spirit working through you and making you do that.
Dude, if it is, I'm too dumb to know, so just let me have my fun.
And sort of in line with that, I don't mean to keep going on, but I wanted to ask you guys real quick, do we have control over our own lives, or is everything predetermined? Where do you fall on that? Because it kind of goes in, if it's sort of like an AI simulation, it's like a video game. You have to play it according to the way it's made, and you can't you can't deviate. You have to go kind of follow the path.
Or could it just be like a choose your own adventure where there's only so many possibilities?
I don't know. To me, I would think, I don't know. I don't know.
Because, let's say that you are predestined to be, Britney Spears' stand-in, whatever. And you wake up tomorrow, you're predestined to do that. But you decide to not get out of bed for the next month and not to eat or drink anything. Like, you're not going to be able to be her backup dancer if you're dead from dehydration. So at some point, like, predestiny is going to require us to make certain choices. So it's not, you might be.
It's sort of like what came first, the chicken or the egg kind of thing. Like if you're put in a situation which you had no control over and you have to make a choice in that situation, both choices are pretty bad choices. Did you really have a choice? Because if you really had a choice, you might not choose either one of those things. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it, but like some things happen to us that we had no part in. It just happens to us. And like, where does the decision making come into that? It does, like no decision that you made would have changed the outcome.
But you're thinking of this world like whatever that show was, the Truman Show, where you're the center of the universe. And how did that guy just like blow the stop sign right in front of me? But that guy that's blowing the stop sign, he's involved in his own Truman Show where he's like, how come that guy wanted to go and I need to blow through the stop sign? Like, doesn't he know I need to get chased? Like, we all have these lives, like a Venn diagram, I guess. Where we intersect for various reasons because, I've got to be in line behind somebody at the grocery store. And I don't know. I definitely don't think I'm the only person in the universe. Like, the world doesn't start when I walk in the door. People have their own lives. And actually, I really appreciate everybody here. Let's just say right at this moment for spending your Friday night with us. We are so close to having 500 followers on Rumble. So if you guys are watching on Rumble, if you could follow us over there, we are so close to having 500 followers, which makes me feel like I am the Truman Show. And on YouTube also, when you guys are over there. The only way to stop AI is to subscribe to this channel. Yes. Thank you, Circle.
You must support the real. You must support the real.
I don't know. I mean, I grew up on Choose Your Own Adventure, so I love that idea that at every point you have the power to go into the haunted house or go back to school. Like, I love that idea that we are in control of ourselves, because if it all is predestined, then there's no point.
Is that human nature and ego that makes us believe that we have control? I mean, can argue this both ways. I can say, our decisions and everything sets out a pattern and will dictate our life forward. But then again, there's also many things that happen to us that we have no control over and just happen. And there's no planning in that. And, I wonder sometimes, I wonder how much of this is a simulation, and how much of it, like, what is this that we really are experiencing right now? Not to get too spiritual, but, thinking about it, like, what is it? And I could believe it's just an AI simulation like the Matrix.
Yeah, I was just going to say, sometimes I think that maybe I'm just Neo in the little egg, just dreaming away.
Yeah, absolutely. I can believe
Well,
that.
Rod, you're having a really fucked up dream then. You need to wake the fuck up.
Have you ever heard of the Loose Farm, Rob?
Yes. I have a basic kind of understanding of it. Not. Well, I know it's something like our energy is feeding the entities that are above us or whatever.
Yes. But that's essentially what the Matrix was, right? We were just beings that were there to, like a battery, to feed the bigger machine, and I sort of believe that, it was sort of, what do you want to call it, an analogy or whatever, parable, whatever kind of story to illustrate what the reality is.
Yeah.
In a subtle kind of way, I think, like Matrix and They Live and that kind of thing, we're actually closer to, nonfiction, like almost a documentary. Even, I always say that the Matrix was a documentary. Idiocracy, unfortunately, is looking like a documentary right about now.
Yeah, that one too. Yeah.
And They Live. Yeah. At least during COVID, They Live was like, that's the one.
Interesting fact, in They Live, they said they were going to have complete control by 2025 in that movie. When Roddy Piper and the other guy go underground, that's when they say.
Oh, really? Yeah. And I think Blade Runner was like 2021 that I think Blade Runner took place. But yeah, I mean, COVID was totally the fight scene in the alley. Put on the glasses. I'm not putting on the glasses.
Yeah.
You need to face reality. I'm not facing reality. I don't like, of course, any technology can be used for good or evil. And I think, I don't know how you regulate good and evil, because I think good people just do good and evil people will find a way. It's just like gun control. Like, it's not the gun killing people. So I don't know. Like, for me, I don't think that you put a lot of regulations on AI. I think you need to have AI to combat AI, like, at least when it comes to the pornography part of it. But, if I was king of the world.
Say AI can definitely identify, like 100% of the time, any fake imagery or anything like that. Supposedly they have some way of doing it. So yeah. Like drones, we're killing everybody with drones, and now we're going to be fighting with drones. You think your AR-15 is going to help you? You're fighting the last war. It's all drone warfare now.
Once we don't have that trust anymore, because this really, it is getting to the point where you're like, is that real? Even Rod, you today said that you saw that video, and you're like, I don't want to send it to you because I didn't. It's like so ridiculous. It can't be true.
Yeah,
but then also, like, you see these news stories, and you're like, how is that even fucking true? Like the whole Florida man thing.
Yeah, I come across stuff every day. I'm like, wow, that's really crazy. I got to send that to Molly. And then I wait a minute. Is that real? And then I have to go down my little avenue and check it. Is anybody else talking about this? Anybody else reporting on this? Is it true? And then I verified it. I'm pretty sure it's true. And I send it. And then sometimes it's still fake.
Yeah.
I just send it. And then
it's a minefield anymore. It's a minefield anymore about what's true and what's real. It's really hard to know.
Yeah, it's crazy though, because like from a law enforcement perspective, we used to be such a high trust society that your word was your bond and that I would just believe you. Now, then we went through a phase where it's like, well, I don't know, I need to see the video. But now, like, even if you have video, I don't know that I believe you. And that is a really dark place to be. Just as an odd fact, I am the great 10th great granddaughter of Rebecca Nurse, who was the oldest witch killed during the Salem witch trials. And here's a woman, she had 8 kids, so there's a million great grandkids. But she was a totally reasonable woman in her town, and some little petty cunts in Salem were just like, she's a witch too. And they just killed her for it. That's how much of a high trust society we used to have. And maybe your ancestor was an AI witch. Listen, she wasn't a witch. I'm not a witch. I just bought the outfit. All right. And like, I just think about the Salem witch trials because it really is just the antithesis of what we have now, where you can tell me that you blah, 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 blah. And like, I need to see proof. And now we're at a point where even proof isn't proof, because I could show you pictures of me, taking the podium, accepting the nomination for the president of the United States. And it doesn't mean that it ever happened. It's that part of AI is really dark because it's only feeding into the low trust society that we're already organically creating because we're all shitbags and greedy and fucked up.
It's ego, I think, what the problem is.
Yeah, and a lot of that is, being on the computer, social media, whatever. You all see those people who like every picture is like their life is so perfect, and the version you see of them online isn't the version that because you work in the office. I might
be the one exception to that. I guess I'm the kind of person that wears my stuff on the sleeve. And as a friend of mine on Facebook, I put some pretty private shit out there and don't hold back on some things.
There are posts that I haven't seen. To me, just keep scrolling.
I will just say, to me, it's the human experience. I don't worry too much about it. As Jesus said, he who is without sin cast the first stone. And in that kind of mentality, I don't worry too much. I acknowledge, hey, I'm a fuck up. I am a fuck up. I do wrong things, but I look around me and realize everybody else is a fuck up too. So there's nothing to really worry about. So, I mean, I guess it's maybe not the best way to approach it, but it's sort of the way I look at it.
Yeah, I mean, that is interesting because AI, on one hand, AI is going towards a more idealized version of humanity, of these like real dolls that are like, ooh, whatever kind of shit. And then you've got fashion designers that are creating fashions and having these runway shows, and everybody in it has to be like fat or an amputee or whatever, like just bring out the sideshow. And we're at a real like change. Somebody needs to put this video in a time capsule for my 10th great granddaughter, great grand bunny, whatever. Anyway, well, we're at the 2-hour mark. So guys, thanks. This flew by. I appreciate it, especially with all the bullshit technical difficulties that we had. Rod, thanks for sticking to it.
Yes.
And thanks, chat. I'm at mollysleuth@gmail.com. If you need me to mail you some of my toenails, let me know. Be glad to. And thanks, Chris. Thanks, Rod. We're going to have a weird daytime show coming up. If you follow me on Facebook or Instagram under Life Sleuth Molly, I will put it out, but it's going to be with Patricia Keystone channel, and we're just going to look at my house. Hopefully not right now. There's like a lot going on here right now, but I have a bunch of days off. I'm working in the basement. I'm doing good things. And we're going to talk about my stupid ghost situation that you guys all think I have a ghost. It's not a ghost. I don't know what it is. It's
I was
weird.
hoping to be a part of that, but I can understand why you might not make me a part of that show. But she seems like an interesting character.
Yeah, she's really fun. She's in the Netherlands. So right now it's like 3 a.m. where she's at. So she just was like, fuck you. But no.
When are you doing that show?
Let me check my Telegram. But then I'd have to do the, so I'm still cat sitting and the cat is sick, blah, blah, blah. After Monday would work best. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out and I'll have to post it.
This is a surprise.
But I will post it with as much. It's not a surprise, but you just might not catch it live. You might catch it afterwards. I don't know. I also have to make a list of all the weird ghostly things that have happened so I can update her. Because there's some weird shit that's going on. Give your sissy a big virtual hugs. I know she's going through a lot right now. Yeah, you're so right. I just talked to her for Christmas, and I wish I could have been there. But a flight to go see my sister for a single day, and you know how I feel about Christmas, was going to be like 5 months of my mortgage. So that wasn't going to happen. But yes, big fingers crossed for her.
I can't say I know fully well what your issue with Christmas is, but I get. Oh wait, hold on. Never mind. I misspoke. Now I remember. Never mind.
I am not a fan. Just not a fan of Christmas. That's why I have a Scrooge stocking someplace. I found it on eBay, and I don't know that I've ever like laughed more in my life than when I saw a Scrooge stocking. So yeah, I'm very much I just don't like it. I don't like any of the obligational shit. I find something that I really want to buy for you for Christmas that you really, really like, but then Rod's going to get all butthurt because he bought me something and I didn't buy him something, or I spent more money on Rod than I spent on Chris. And like, it's just stupid. It's all stupid. I hate all of that part of it. Bullshit. Hate it. Bah, humbug. And with that, thank you much. Thanks for showing up. And I'll see you guys next week.
Or whatever you call it.
Help me, everyone, Kenobi. You're my